So in previous lectures we came to know about the amplitude modulation, but there are other two modulation techniques are there. There are frequency modulation and phase modulation, and these two techniques and these two modulations are commonly known as angle modulation, because both has the same kind of amplitude, but they have difference in the frequency and the phase. So this angle modulation is the process in which the frequency or the phase that I have told you earlier of the carrier signal varies according to the message signal. That means phase and certain, what can you say, the frequency will change. As we know that cos twice pi ft, here we use ft plus phi, so that is the basic what can you say, AC, there is the basic uh, modulating wave uh, formula. If you just think about it, that is the angle of cos, and we just vary the frequency and the phase to vary the modulation, and that is the modulation technique. So it is commonly known as angular modulation or angle modulation, just because of that situated on the angular side of the cosine. So here you can see that the angle of the modulated wave. So if we just split the angle of modulation in frequency and time, we will definitely get the answer. And in that particular section, the frequency modulation is the process of varying the frequency of the carrier signal linearly with the message signal, and the phase modulation is the process of varying the phase of the carrier signal linearly with the message signal. So now the starting of the discussion of the frequency modulation. So in amplitude modulation, the amplitude of the carrier signal varies, but in frequency modulation, the frequency of the carrier signal varies in accordance with the instantaneous amplitude of the modulating signal. That means the amplitude will not be varied until or unless the frequency will change. So there are the baseband signal, or the message signal is quite commonly known as the baseband signal. In any kind of mathematics or practical analysis, if you see baseband signal, it is quite common to the message signal, and that is the carrier signal. And you know, in modulation technique, the carrier signal frequency is quite higher than the message signal, and after modulating with each other, there is no change in the amplitude side. The amplitude is quite similar, no change in the amplitude side, but they are have been changing in the what can I say, frequency side. And here you can see there are some frequency, that is this is the this frequency is smaller, and there is a very higher this frequency, because the zigzags and other uh, signal materials are quite adjacent to each other. That means there is a high frequency component, then there is a high frequency component, there is a lower frequency component. Why does it matters? Because just because of this, just think about it. In that particular position, in the rising position, that just what can I say, that just if I just put that there, that just changes the that changes the frequency time to time, and after that we get this kind of bunch of frequencies that changes each other, but the amplitude will not be changed in that particular modulation technique. So the frequency of the modulator's wave increases when the amplitude of the modulating or message signal increases. That means the frequency of the modulated wave will increase when the amplitude of the modulating message signal increases. That means when you see that that gonna increase in that level, in the same context the frequency also gets higher. Similarly, the frequency of the modulator wave decreases when the amplitude of the modulation decreases. Just think about it, just check the positions that I have drawn on the what can I say, on the picture. That's a decreasing element. Just look in front of it. Yes, in that part of frequency has been lowered than this. It's a higher part, and that is the lower part. So that is the thing. So the frequency of the modulated wave remains constant. It is equal to frequency of the carrier signal when the amplitude of the modulating signal is 0. If the modulating signal, the amplitude of the modulating is 0, then the carrier signal will be equal to the modulated signal, otherwise it will not be equal to each other. So now the main mathematical representation came throughout that in the FM modulation is that changes in the instantaneous frequency. That means this frequency is the game changer in frequency modulation technique. So the instantaneous frequency is equal to the carrier frequency plus kf. Kf means the frequency sensitivity, that is a constant, and also that depends on the how much sensitive in that particular channel is, and that is one kind of, that's modulation index is one kind of a parameter, that's one kind of parameter of the changing of that part of thing. And mt is the message signal, so that is the mt part of the message signal. So did we know in that particular section of message signal the amplitude will not vary, but for the frequency sensitivity and carrier frequency it varies throughout the instantaneous frequency range. So we know the relationship between the angular frequency. If we just put the value of angular frequency, that's omega means d theta by dt. So omega is equal to twice pi a phi d theta dt, and theta I, that means the angle theta I, will be twice pi of the integration of a phi dt. It is differentiation. If we just put it here, just it will be go through to the integration part. So in that particular section, the fi value, the what can I say, that is the instantaneous frequency value, the above equation will change like that. If we just put the value of fi, that is fc plus kf mt, just located here, we just put the value in that particular equation, we get this, and after integrating we get that kind of a equation. Then the calculation goes on, and for that theta I, if we just put the theta I in the AC cos theta I position, we will get this kind of modulated wave, angle modulated wave, and this is the equation of FM wave, that is the derivation of FM wave, and this is the equation of FM wave. If the modulating signal mt, that totally depends on the modulating signal mt. If the modulating signal mt is equal to am cos twice pi fmt, just put the value here and just integrate it. You will get the after integration the cos will be integrated and go through to the sinusoidal twice pi fmt. Just put the value and integrate it, you will get this. So there is a constant point of modulation index beta, that is the modulation index for FM or frequency modulation. So beta is equal to del f divided by FM. Del f means the frequency deviation, and that depends on the sensitivity of the frequency and the amplitude of the modulated wave divided by the frequency of the modulated wave. So that's all for the modulation index. Now we will go through to the difference between FM modulated wave, that is the instantaneous frequency, and normal carrier frequency is termed as frequency deviation. So what is frequency deviation? The difference between FM modulated frequency, that means FM modulated frequency FM, and the normal carrier frequency, that means fc minus FM is equal to fd or del f. Okay, and the normal carrier is termed as frequency deviation. It is generated by del f, which is equal to the product of kf and am. That's the multiplication to each other, we get it. So FM can be divided into narrowband FM and wideband FM on the values of modulation index beta. That depends on the value of modulation index beta. So that it will be known as narrowband FM and wideband FM. So there are some properties of narrowband FM and wideband FM. So this frequency modulation has a small bandwidth when compared to wideband FM. The modulation index beta is small, less than 1. Its spectrum consists the upper sideband and the lower sideband. It is used in mobile communications and such as police, wireless, ambulances, taxi cabs, etc.